Hi, I'm Blur, and this devlog is for the game maker language ModLoader, alpha version 0.2. So let's start with a bug fix to this issue that Flash9 was so kind to point out. Previously, if you run the loader while the file model.win already existed, meaning that you had run the loader previously, the file will be incorrectly overwritten, causing a crash upon running the game. That has been fixed, and you can run the loader however many times you want, and it will still work. Now, if we come here to the sample mod I made for the previous video, we can see that the sprites folder has been renamed to textures. Here's a little guy. This was made to match the Undertale model class name, because sprites and textures are two different things. Support for actual sprites has been added as well, as you can see here in the sprites.ini file. We can change the properties of the sprite. So what you're seeing now was compiled with the previous version of the loader. I've made the TV sprite bigger than it originally was, and everything works fine until If we were to open the game data in the Undertale mod tool and locate the sprite's texture, we can see what's going on here. When replacing the texture, as it's bigger than originally intended, it will overlap with other textures in the texture page. In this case, overlapping with the first monitor's selected animation. So what I've done to fix this is that if the new texture is bigger than the old one, a new texture page dedicated for the new texture will be created. So as you can see, nothing is overlapped now. Hopping back to the game, with the new version, we can see it works fine. This next feature originated when I tried to add a new translation and realized that the files for this were existing outside the data.win file. As you can see here, I am in the lang folder, and here's the english.txt file. So, here I have a translation mod with a new folder, external assets, and if we go into it, we'll see here's our txt translation and of course an ini file containing the destination path for each file. Running the loader, we can see how the file is copied, and here it is. Let's open the game and change the language to this madness I've added. Ta-da! If you have seen my previous mods, you might know what this is about. Anyways, moving on. Last but not least, in fact, the most important feature of this update, the ability to modify game objects by changing their values as well as adding or removing events. As you can see in the background, I've made another showcase mod that runs the code for instantiating a noise object when the sound effect destroy event is triggered. And with that, we've reached the end of the changelog. Of course, I haven't mentioned some minor things like improving the ini structures, fixing misleading paths and type conversions, some refactoring, and the not so minor fact that new assets can now be added correctly. Just that because the only one who uses this as of now is me, there was no problem. That was a big fix. Other things I'd like to mention before the video ends. You're the first one to say it, so smile for the camera. Well, this is something I was worrying about actually. I don't want you to think that the fact that the game banana page wasn't updated means there hasn't been any progress. Like, I've finished this version 16 days ago as the time of recording this, and the reason this page hadn't been updated is that I hadn't finished this video showcasing the changelog. For me, doing this takes time, and I'm devoting as much of it as I can to this project. But, as a human, I have other responsibilities as well. Plus, I still keep on developing the next version while working on the video, so development never actually stalls. If you want to see how the progress is actually coming along, you can either check the GitHub repository's commits, speaking of which, I've improved the readme showing the implemented and not implemented features, or you can join the Discord server that can be found in most of this project's sites, and of course in this video's description. Now for some FAQ. We're gonna download. You can't, this is still being developed and not fully functional. If you still wanna try it in the current state of development, The project is open source, so you can just download the source code and compile it to test. Will I be able to test this? Can I try this out? Yes, I'm gonna start uploading compiled releases to GitHub once we reach beta, and I have added most of the features from Undertale mod tool. How does it convert X deltas into Undertale mod lib? Will this mod work? Or how CST1229 puts it, yeah, I'll finally be able to play mod array at once. The answer to all these questions is the same, and this one is just perfect. The idea is for modders to deprecate X deltas and adopt this new format. On a side note, I've added commenting instructions to improve feedback on the Game Banana post. If possible, don't comment which mods you'd played with. I mean, it's a mod loader. It's not that mind-blowing to see people use a set list of multiple mods. Instead, question suggestions and ideas are much preferred so that I know what needs change and improvements, and you help me by making development easier. So, thank you.